What's a faith doing in a place like this?
They say it was stolen from a temple long ago.
Huh?
With no faith, summoners cannot train. Without training, they cannot call the final Aeon. Without the final Aeon, they cannot defeat sin. That is why.
In the beginning, the Lord created the heavens and the earth, and he saw that thems was good. And on the second day, he created the Every F and FF podcast, and then he rested, and then was killed in cold blood by Yuna and her band of guardians.
And also, after he created the Every F and FF podcast, he was like, yo, this shit sucks, man. I'm going to sleep.
Also, I'm Curtis. Hello.
I'm Carl.
I'm Alex. And with us
And I'm back once again.
Yeah!
Yeah, boy.
our Hollow Knight expert.
Yeah. How's it going, Ninnyz?
It goes fantastic, friends. Thanks for having me back on.
I watched a 30-minute long miniature documentary, a mini-minery about Hollow Knight last night, and now I'm like, I really want to play that game. That does look really good.
Yo,
So
Hollow
I think I
Knight
might
is so
do that.
good.
Is it? We should just stop doing Final Fantasy and just transfer over.
Just do all the
I don't think that Hollow Knight has that level of depth, and it certainly does not have that many installments yet.
I think
every Metroidvania podcast.
if we talked about every area the way that we talk about every Final Fantasy area, it could absolutely be long enough, because that's a pretty massive game.
So you notice that the crystal in this crystal peak is a little bit misshapen. It might have something to do with the crystal that you see down in the abyss.
Yeah, we believe that this symbolizes the Pale Knight. I know very little of the lore with Hollow Knight.
Super far reaching.
I just know it's very buggy.
Very buggy. Alex.
I think I was watching a friend of the show, Berto Please, play through Hollow Knight, like a casual playthrough first time. And I'm pretty sure everyone just kept saying to him, like, oh, wow, I can't believe they shipped this game when it had so many bugs in it. And he was like, wait, there was a lot of bugs in it? And it took him like a little bit. He's like, God damn it, I hate you guys.
That's incredible. That's so good. So what are we doing this week?
That is
So
a good question.
we could go fight Sin. But
Yeah.
We got some unfinished business.
Boy, there's some doings a transpiring.
on this podcast, we leave every stone
Turned?
turned, I guess.
Yeah.
We turned that shit like 3 times.
We lift every wall of that faith.
That's right.
We enter every sanctum.
Oh, baby,
talk
we're gonna
to
enter
every
some
dream.
sanctums today.
Sometimes multiple times.
Yes. So this week we're gonna look at Baaj Temple and the Cavern of the Stolen Fayth.
No more.
I'm really excited to talk this weekend. Or this week, I should say.
Which one did y'all do first?
I did the Cavern of the Stolen Fayth actually a little early. I did it last week just because
That's right.
I was just trying to just grind and also explore other areas, because the Cavern of Stolen Fayth is where we fought, just down the hill from where we fought Defender X. Right?
Yeah.
There's a very noxious cave down there, which it's approaching the bottom of, I forgot the name of the gorge that Carl gave us some lore dump on, where there's just full of fiends.
Oh yeah, Dead Summoner Way, I think it's called.
Something like that. Yeah, so if you take that slope that Titus originally was like, "This is not the way," and Lulu's like, "No, this isn't the way." But there's a cave called what's it called?
The Cavern of the Stolen Fayth.
Oh,
Pretty evocative.
Oh, I love it.
It's kind of weird where they have it, just because it's like you're on your way. Like I did this immediately after Defender X, so
Yeah.
previous playthrough stuff like that, and I got super lucky. Couple of episodes ago, Carl was talking about how he made himself his own no encounter armor, and one of the enemies down there, you can defeat the ghosts, and they just randomly have a rare drop of no encounter armor. And
Yep.
so I got that super early. So world record, here I come. But it's like, it's as we progress through this, you find out that like it's a Stolen Fayth brought here, but it's not so secret. It's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird what they did here.
Well, I guess we'll tackle that one first then, since we're all like...
We all know where that is.
Yeah. Now, I will say, when I landed at the Calmlands, there's some new NPCs at the little... it's not a travel agency this time, is it?
It's a little pop-up market.
Little pop-up market? Yeah. But I like that one of the Albeds says to you that rumor about the airship is already spreading, and Yevon is afraid of it. And I was like, oh. So, like, Shalinda's already telling everybody that, like, oh, yo, you gotta sing when this fucking airship starts. And, like, Yevon's already pissed about it.
Yo, that's sick.
Yeah, I know. I love that a lot.
Maesters hate him.
10 easy steps.
5 secrets how to get the nation to sing a hymn.
Yeah.
Love to buy the world a Coke.
Yeah, that's the one that Sen likes. Yeah, he's just like, ooh. he has Sen likes product placement jingles, so we all just have to like get in the ship and sing like the safe auto jingle or whatever.
Oh, O'Reilly.
Yeah, O'Reilly. Yeah, give us money,
Parks.
O'Reilly.
From the moment I wake up, I reach for my smiley face cup and sing a little hymn for you. Oh, Yevon, oh, Yevon.
Owaka's getting a lot of ideas.
Yeah, give us money, companies. Anyway, but yeah, and then there's also some expats, I guess, from the Church of Yevon and Bavel who have moved out and are like, yeah, everybody's leaving Bavel now. Like, it's dangerous there. Everything's like up in an uproar. Like, we're all leaving, and so a lot of people are getting out of the city. It looks like Yevon is in a total mess state now, as they've been telling us for a while. But yeah.
I don't know if we should talk about this now. I'm trying to think of when we would fit it in otherwise, but I was kind of had to do a lot of like traveling around, which we'll get to when we like talk a little later. But there's some additional Machen dialogue at Mount Gagazet.
There is.
Oh,
yeah, should we talk about that? Because it's super
Yeah,
cool.
we can talk about it now. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let me skip to it in my
Yeah.
photographs.
Oh, and also, yeah, sorry about like being out of order a little bit this week.
Yeah, it's good.
When
That's
I
just how it
first
is.
got to like the Cavern of the Stolen Fayth, I did it immediately after Defender X as well, because I usually like to, before moving on, like I'm like, oh, I need to explore everywhere. So I got that cutscene weeks and weeks and weeks ago, and have no idea where those screenshots are. I don't think I deleted them yet because I'm bad at doing that, but yeah.
Well, I figured that like the Mount Gagazet, like the entrance to it where Machen is right at the Calmlands pretty much. So like it makes sense to be like, oh yeah, let's talk about to Machen because he's like pretty much right there. He's
just
one
a hop,
screen
skip,
up.
move. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I got for the first time. I mean, when we get done with this, there's a really weird cutscene that I got when I went back to another location as I was acquiring, you know, sigils and stuff like that for various
There's a lot of
various
extra
weapons.
stuff, like a lot of extra little scenes when you run around the world.
Yeah, and they're all pretty cool too.
Yeah. But all right, yeah, let's talk to Machen. How about that?
Yeah, so another quick note about Mount Gagazet. If we remember when we last left Mount Gagazet, it was after fighting Seymour Flux, I believe.
Yes.
And the big like oh no moment of him being like, hey, I killed all the Ronzos.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he missed one.
Yeah.
Other than Kamari, he missed one. He missed a merchant there who's just like, Mountain is like tough. Like, you need good weapons. And he just sells you weapons. Nothing about his, you know, people being wiped out. Nothing about any of that. He's just like, yo, I got that good shit. So I was like,
Maybe Seymour doesn't know what the Ronso looked like, and he just thought he was like, he got a completely different race.
He killed all the grats, and he's just like, I got him. Got those damn Ronso.
Also, Seymour is super bad at thinking that he's done the right thing, because if you play Blitzball, there's an entire team and another female Ronso on there. So like,
oh yeah,
they're coming back in a big way, baby.
yeah, hell yeah. Or it could just be that he's just like the kind of dipshit who like thinks he's right completely all the time, that he killed like all the Ronsos who were like guarding and stuff, and he's just like, that was like 12 of them. That's got to be all of them in the world.
How many could there be?
He's super literal. He's like, I can't see any Ronso, must all be dead.
He has no object permanence.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Head empty, Ronso done. I am Victor. Let's go get Yuna.
But yeah, so Mei-chan's here, and or Mei-chin, I should say, and he says,
Mei-chan.
Shall I tell you about the spear of days long past, eh?
Yes.
And again, you have the options to say no, but you're not a monster, so of course you say, I'd love to hear it. And he says, there is a legend, you know. Just before the horrible sin appeared, a terrible war raged between Bavel and Zanarkand. When the armies of Badel this MF said Badel.
Roll in the deep.
When the armies of Bavel attacked Mount Gagazet, they heard a song echoing across the snowy slopes. 'Tis a song from another world, they said.
Also, I want to stop you right there and say, like, you can't say that because the fucking dumb rock song at the beginning of the game is called Otherworld. And I was like, wait, is that the song that they heard echoing down
yeah,
the
just
and they're like, oh, so beautiful, so majestic.
Yo, hell yeah. Yeah.
Stop listening to classical music.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No problem at all. The soldiers panicked and ran, and then, as if to pursue the retreating armies, Sin appeared. Sometime later, scouts from Bavel braved the mountain. On the other side, they witnessed the ruins that had been Zanarkand, the city destroyed, not a single soul left standing, gone. In its place, a multitude of the faith have gathered on Gagazet. They were singing a song. It's the song we now call the Hymn of the Faith. And that, as they say, is that. Well, maybe not all of it.
Oh, I love that. Maybe not all of it. Did you talk to him again?
Oh, yeah, I got all of it. But
okay.
I think it's pretty interesting here that, you know, like when we were on our way to the Zanarkand ruins, we saw all of those faith just like in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
that they're the ones from the original Zanarkand.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
So we finally have that, a little more about that, which is pretty cool. Do you want to take the rest of it, Curtis?
Sure.
Or the next part of it, I should say?
So he asks you if you would like to hear the rest. And then he says,
Rumors flew in Bavel about Sin's sudden appearance. They said that the people of Zanarkand became the faith that they had called Sin.
and that the man responsible was none other than the summoner Yevon, ruler of Zanarkand. Yes, the Lord Father of Lady Yunalesca. On the eve of Zanarkand's destruction, Lady Yunalesca had safely fled with her husband, Zaon. Later, the two used the final summoning to defeat Sin. Yet the people of Bavel still feared Yu Yevon. It was to quell his wrath that they revered him, and first spread his teachings, and so were born the temples of Yevon. I suppose it's possible Yunalesca had planned it that way from the start. A fair trade. She defeats Sin in exchange for her Lord Father's honor. Of course, there's no proof. No, the facts are lost in the mists of time.
And who'd admit Yevon was an enemy of Bavel? You can bet the temples had a hand in covering that one up.
And that, as they say, is that. And that is a...
Or is it?
That is a huge dump of lore.
Yeah, that's a lot.
There's actually still more.
Is there still more?
Yeah.
Oh, there is. Yeah, there is more.
I never even knew that. Like I knew the backstory of the game, but like I never even knew it was just like spilled out for you. Literally, just like Machen's like, "Here, young one, let me tell you everything that I know." And you're like, well,
Yeah.
I just want to play some video games, but what's up, man?
Yeah, I fucking love just how like casually Machen is just like, hey, here's a little bit of heresy for you.
Yeah.
Some like deep
right.
heresy from like the church. Like,
This is stuff
you know
I don't
that
want you to
God
know.
dude? Yeah, he's actually fucked up.
It is wild though, because like we've thought of like Yevon as a Bavel thing the whole time, but Yevon was actually the head of Zanarkand, not of Bavel.
Mm-hmm.
And like they assumed that like the summoners or the faith were summoning Sin the whole time, right? And so
Yeah.
they were like, we have to appease him. We'll start the Church of Yevon.
Did you go on?
I did go on, yeah.
Okay, just making
Okay.
sure.
Your turn.
Okay, it's my turn. So yeah, you can say like to hear more, would you? And he says,
Let me tell you about the Hymn of the Faith. It was once a Zanarkand song sung in defiance of Bavel.
of course, the Yevon clergy of Bavel forbade it. Then, as these things often go, those who disliked Yevon began to sing it. The Albed, for instance. That's interesting. Oh yeah, that's right. They were
Yeah.
singing it like as they're like kind of dirged when they were kind of like getting ready to blow up home.
Yeah, like flying towards doom.
Doom. The hymn of the faith became a symbol of defiance against Yevon. Yevon could do nothing but capitulate. They lifted the ban of the song and spread a new story. They said the hymn was a song sung to soothe the souls of the dead. And so saying, they took the song and made it scripture. That's why today the hymn is sung all over Spira. So this is really funny that like the way to soothe Sim is basically like singing like "fuck the police."
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it was heresy back in the day.
It's literally like if Mr. Burns started a religion and everyone to sing to appease him was singing boo, but he thought they were saying boo earns.
Yeah.
Are you saying you or
Are you saying
You
you,
earns.
Yevon, or boo Yevon? I was saying you, Yevon.
You could say that, though Xanarkand is gone from this world, it lives on in song. Ah, but look at the time, I've rambled on again. I do love stories, you see.
Well, I owe you my gratitude for hearing this old scholar out.
And then you get a nice little certificate that says, I graduated Machen University.
I was expecting something like an elixir or something, and I was like, oh, he's gonna give me gratitude, and then I was like, oh no, he means it in the like, I am grateful for you.
Knowledge
which,
is its own reward, buddy.
yeah, I'll take that. Like he doesn't owe me shit. Like he's giving me
On,
all the good lore bits, you know.
In X2, you do get an achievement for listening to Machen all the way through.
Oh hell yeah.
I was about to say, it's like that seems like something that would be like a trophy.
Yeah, but he just like dumped like huge revelations on us like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah, that was really sick. I was not expecting that at all. And when he started up, I was like, oh, I think I already heard all of this, so I don't need to listen to this. And then I'm like, oh my god, I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Well, see, do you think like there's a reason why like he tells the summoner that goes so far all this information? Because like he knows like after he like does this little blasphemy, like, hey, do you know these are actually like the dark secrets, blah blah blah, and then like you're like, okay, now go about to your death so that way you don't get me in trouble.
Wait a minute, maybe at this. Well, I guess not.
As
I
Final
suppose
Fantasy
that-
VII has told us, books are good for nothing.
Books are good for nothing. I guess that nobody knows that Yuna has killed Yunalesca, except for
Micah.
Mike. Well, yeah, Micah done willed himself away. So
Yeah.
Hide and seek.
yeah, right.
And Shalena's going to keep looking for him.
But yeah, so we can backtrack one screen, yeah, and go to the Cavern of the Stolen Fayth.
I guess it's two screens because we got to go back
Yeah,
to
we
the bridge
gotta go
and
down the
then
bridge.
then under the bridge, yeah. So yeah, like I said, it's a very noxious looking cave because there's like purple smoke coming out of it, right?
There are like constant fart clouds everywhere. Like
There's coughing as a muck.
yeah, it a real stinky cave.
There's some Voltorbs, but they're pretty rare.
Well, you think that they're items on the ground.
Yeah,
you press
it's like
A
a
on them.
mimic. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how they get you.
that's how they get you.
We'll get to mimics, god damn it. At some
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Not
Yep.
this episode, but
But yeah, so when we're outside of it, so again, like you could have done this earlier, right? Like I think Alex, you did this earlier, right?
yeah, I did this one episode ago. I forget why. I think I was just trying to
Why
grind
not?
it because I was like, I'm a little stronger. I need some more AP. So I just like I kept last time I came here, I was getting killed because there's a lot of enemies that cast like sleep, and I think some of them maybe even cast doom. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's the ghost
Yeah.
that does doom, and then there's the whatever the plant enemies are that the Bulbasaurs, they cast pollen if you hit them.
Bulbasaur.
So
Right.
it doesn't just cause sleep, I don't think. I think it might also cause darkness, if I remember
Oh, yeah.
correctly.
Maybe so.
Blind or whatever.
Well,
You might be able to counter a Tonberry here as well. It's very
you
rare.
can.
Very rare.
That was the last monster I got 10 of for the monster arena. It took me hours to find Tonberry.
Same. I think
Anyway,
it took me hours to find one.
yeah. Anyway, so when we get there, there's a cutscene right outside the entrance to the cave as soon as we get there. And we could have seen this earlier, but, we see it now. And Riku starts, and she says, "Where are we?" And Lulu says,
The faith is inside, as are the fiends.
and Waka says to Lulu, "Hey, is this where?" And Titus is like, "Where what?" And Lulu explains.
The summoner I guarded on my first pilgrimage died here.
And then she kind of like, there's a little bit of silence. Everybody looks shocked. And then she starts to walk into it and says, Yuna, let's go. The faith awaits. And then like as everybody runs into it, she like pauses and like looks up at the top of the cave and just like kind of sighs and then continues on in. And I was like,
it's a little
boy.
Suspicious, Lulu, that she made it out.
Yeah, right.
Convenient.
Because Lulu's told us before that she's gone on this pilgrimage twice, right? And like once the guy, was it that? It wasn't the guy that we met in the Calmlands, was it? It was someone, but
yeah. Wasn't I believe it was, right?
Yeah.
Because after he leaves, they're like, "Who is that?" And you're like, Ludo goes, "Yeah, he was the second guardian." Yeah. And like he just gave up when he got to the Calmlands.
Yeah, he gave up. And then the first one, they went into the Cavern of Stolen Fayth and he died there, which is kind of a bummer, seeing as there was only Gagazet and Xanarkin left. So it's kind of like tripping at the finish line.
Yeah, maybe they ran out of food.
Right.
Or maybe he got
ton buried. He got fucking chef's knifed.
And some bad shrimp.
So this cave is like not very big, right? Like there's not a lot of
ground to cover. I think it's like only like an L shape. Really?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of hallways, essentially.
It's the shape of the cool S, and we're gonna go through it. I think it's actually it's like an L and a backwards L connected. But there are several different kinds of very interesting enemies here, right? Like really weird ones. And I feel like Final Fantasy games in general are good about, toward the end of the game, just being like, okay, HP and attack power is not the big enemy anymore. Now it's going to be like trickery and weirdness. And like now we have to handle this. Which, like we said, there are Tonberries here, so already we're getting into that. Where they counter with an attack called Karma. And it does the amount of enemies you've killed times 10, I believe.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to look that up before you guys can keep talking. I'm going to look that up.
That sounds rough. Yeah, there's also just like a reskin. It's very cool looking. I'm pretty sure we've seen this enemy before. It's one of the like quadrupedal ones, but I found it interesting that its name is Yowie.
Is that
spelled Yowie and not Yaoi.
Oh, sorry. Okay, hold on.
Like what Yowie Kazowie.
Yeah, Yowie, and then the more tough form, the Gazowie.
There's dark elements, which are like those elemental fidget spinners we fought before, but now they are dark type.
Oh, I don't think I saw any of those.
Yeah, those can be kind of rough too, because they're pretty strong.
They have no elemental weaknesses, and it casts Reflect on itself.
Yeah, and then as we learned, I think later, or a couple episodes ago, I think one of you guys said that reflected spells do more damage. So they cast spells on themselves and they actually deal more damage overall.
It's like in Hades.
That makes sense.
One thing I wanted to say about the Tonberries as well is that if you summon an Aeon on them, they'll use a attack called Voodoo, where they build a little like miniature of the Aeon and then stab it, and it does.
Oh, that's so cool.
quad nines. What? Yeah,
it's beautiful. I think it's a statue for every single Aeon, including all the extra ones.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute and horrifying.
They build one and they go and then stab it, and it does quad damage.
I need to watch it and like I need to see that happen and just like film it and then put Godsmack's Voodoo over it. I'm not the one who's so far away when I hear the snake bite into my veins.
Look forward to that AMV on our YouTube channel.
It's just the entire song, but it's all just Tonberry stabbing the little voodoo doll.
How about, did you guys get into way too fucking many encounters with the magic pot?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, the pot.
I hate those things.
It's like every other fucking fight down here. And I was just like, I don't care.
Magic urn.
Magic urn.
Yeah, it's time for the urn in this cavern.
Ooh.
Apparently.
We saw these in Final Fantasy VII. Remember that?
Yeah, they were a lot better in Final Fantasy VII.
They were a lot better in Final Fantasy VII.
I fucking hate these.
They suck here. Like the items you get from it are like not even.
They're not even worth it.
Worth the trouble.
Yeah. The only thing that's remotely worth it is maybe the elixir, and you have like. So like, I guess we should just talk about the way that this enemy works.
Yeah.
You can get silver hourglass, you can get lunar curtains, I think are like the better items here, it seems like.
Yeah, but the risk for getting those is like pretty high, I'm pretty sure. So basically you run into this thing, it's like a magic pot with like a little like antenna kind of sticking out of it that has like a glowy thing at the end of it.
It's got the goofy little gremlin living
you can kind of see inside of
jar,
it a little bit. There's a little goofy gremlin, and how many? I think it's what, 7 or
there's 7 eyes that you can hit. Yeah.
Even
though there's
on the
probably like 14 to like 20 on there.
Yeah, on the urn itself, you can see little like eye designs like drawn on.
Well, like they're drawing crayon.
Yeah. And like when I first encountered these, I had no idea what I was doing. So I did what I always do in those situations. And I was just like, oh, I'm going to scan and see what's going on. So I scanned it, and it was like, it says something like, oh, you can win up to 8 fabulous prizes by selecting the correct.
While supplies last.
Yeah, by selecting the same thing. But like if you guess wrong, like there's like the battle will end with a blast or something. And what sucks is it's anything that you use on it. So me using scan on it counted as one.
Oh,
and I
did it
chose
really?
Wrong, and it was just like wrong, and I was like, what the fuck did I do wrong? I don't even know what's going on.
It's so mean because like you're expecting it to, from like Final Fantasy 9, you're expecting it to be like, give me an elixir. You're like, okay,
yeah, right,
because like that's exactly what you're. So you're just passing your turns, and you're like, it's not saying anything, and then you do one action and you get punished immediately. Like, well, screw this enemy for the rest of my life.
Yeah. So each like I think on either side there's 3 eyes that you can like focus on and try to attack, and then there's one in the middle. And the one in the middle, what I started doing was if I encountered them and I could survive a hit from them, which was like not likely, I would just attack the middle one and hope that I get lucky and maybe get an elixir out of it, which happened a couple of times. But I was like, I'm not going to gamble with this, because if you guess wrong on the middle one, it'll say wrong, and then it'll do like a self-destruct thing that like does decent damage to you. Like you can't really survive like more than 2 of them.
Now, let me say, there are multiple types of self-destruct that it has depending on your actions. If you steal from the middle eye, instead of doing wrong, it'll just do a move called self-destruct that like at this point could very well just be game over.
It'll probably just game over you. Yeah, I got a couple game overs from these things.
Yeah, I just run away whenever I see him. I'm just like, not worth the effort.
Definitely not.
Yeah, at this point, all of you should be far enough in or complete with some characters' sphere grids, and a less time intensive, more money intensive way to get items out of enemies is through bribe. There's a huge list on the wiki that I'm using to kind of really track down exactly what you want to do. But if you don't want to use that and you want to be surprised at what you get, typically the bribe amount is double the enemy's HP to get like to 100% make it run away from the fight and then get the items. It's no guarantee that like on the wiki it says if you give it like, 15,000 gil that you're going to get 25, mega elixirs. You'll get anything from 1 up to 25.
Right.
You can even get a little bit over. I think one of the things I bribed said it has a maximum of like 4 of something, and it gave me 8.
Whoa, that's awesome.
So sometimes it just happens.
I will say the trick with bribe is you throw the money at it that you need to bribe it, and sometimes it doesn't work. But after you've reached that number, then you can just continue to bribe 1 gil until it does work, because you've already met the amount that you need.
Oh, that's cool. That's good to know. This is where the game starts getting real expensive.
It gets really. This game is so fucking heinous at this point. Like, it gets so off the fucking rails. It's wild.
Yeah,
but also like you get to the point where you're able to make your own armor. So you're literally looking at shops, going like, I think I just don't need you anymore. Like, I'm really sorry. I want to support you in your struggle, but like I got all these items and this equipment got all these empty slots. So
I just go to shops to sell equipment now.
I was gonna say. You still definitely need shops, and what you need them for is exploitation, because like there's like gil farming things that you can do where you like steal certain things from enemies or bribe certain enemies or I forget the specifics of it, but you get certain weapons that you can customize a piece of armor in a certain way that you're just like, oh, this is like the max payout I can possibly get. And you just do that over and over and over again. And I think you can make almost like 6 million gil in like an hour by like someone on Steam communities. Like,
I will say that, like, in my experience, at least this most recent time, at a certain point we'll be doing monster farming, like trying to capture them all for the monster arena, and I made enough equipment and enough money in that I was like, well, I don't even have to worry about it now, like just through normal gameplay. So like you don't have to do gil exploitation if you're just taking everything in stride one at a time. But that aside, though, there are many other monsters down here. There's
a ghost.
There's a aforementioned ghost that drops
like Zoink Scoop.
It drops the no encounter armor if you get real lucky.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they start out by just casting doom on your ass. And you have a clock. But like if you're coming back here after Xanarkand, I found that they're pretty easy. Like them casting doom is kind of just like me getting a free turn. I'm just like, oh, you fucked now.
Yeah, I'm guessing that Phoenix Downs probably work on it. Like I know Holy Magic just like absolutely destroyed it. Yeah, they're not that bad.
I was farming Farplane Shadows off of them, which is pretty good if you want to make Death Touch.
I got you. I was wondering what that would do.
Or Death Ward, even if you want to put on armor.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, to fight against them, then they're pretty useless against you.
Wasn't there like a Tarantino movie called Death Proof, or is it somebody else?
I think that's George Romero.
Is that who it was?
No. So, Death Proof. Yeah, Death Proof was Tarantino. Planet Terror was Romero, and it was in the Grindhouse where
that's what it is.
Both movies showed in theaters back to back.
Got you.
Oh no! It was Robert Rodriguez.
Okay.
I think it was in like homage to some Romero films.
Who is the driver?
Kurt Russell.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Rob Zombie did like some stuff for like the commercial, like the fake trailers in between.
Yeah, there was a lot of. I think Zack Snyder, or not Zack Snyder, he released the Snyder cut. Who's the Eli Roth? I think did one as well.
Bigger Snyder and uncut.
I have a giggle fit because this is turning to sound like 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
7 Degrees of you, Kevin.
That's the one with Oren in it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
My hometown is where Kevin Bacon lives, so.
Oh,
there we go.
So we're all
get him on the
1
pod.
degree away. Or I guess 2 degrees, I suppose.
He voiced Balto.
He's my dad.
Anyway, there's also a Nidhogg.
I've been thinking a lot about the Kevin Costner Robin Hood recently.
That's so out of left field.
Everything I do it for you. Like Yuna, you see. And then there's a cutscene at the back of the cave. When we get there.
Well, we forgot to say the one that at the front of the cave when we actually go in, Riku says,
What's a faith doing in a place like this?
Don't ask me. They say it was stolen from a temple long ago.
I like that somebody just broke in and stole a fucking faith.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like in a translucent, like, crystal jelly thing in the floor. What the fuck did they do? They're just like,
you wouldn't download a faith.
It's probably what happened to the airship in the first place.
That's true. But Orin says, with no faith, summoners cannot train. Without training, they cannot call the final Aeon. Without the final Aeon, they cannot defeat sin. That is why. And Riku says, cause then the summoner won't die. And Waka says, that must be what the thief was thinking.
Yeah, and Titus is like kind of agree with him. Like,
yeah, Titus like looks over and sees Yuna standing there and like kind of like whispers that to Riku.
Yeah, right. That's really cool. Good. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, and so that's like more toward the entrance, right? It's like the second chamber they get into that cutscene.
But then in the back.
There is a save sphere in the back too.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, there's some like treasure chests along the way. Like it's pretty much a straight path. You just follow like the dead ends and you get a treasure chest which has like a mega elixir.
The real treasure chest are the friends we made along the way.
Yes, the ones who died and came here.
And fiends, yeah.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah, there's Mega Elixir, level 2 Key Spheres.
Level 2 Key Sphere, yeah, garbage, Fortune Spear, pretty good.
That's true.
Oh, also, an Albad Primer, 25.
Ooh, 25.
Yeah, O equals Y. And Titus has achieved the rank of Albed Menden Yend, which I translated, and it's like literati. And I was like, yo, Titus has become part of the illiterati.
The illiterati.
I'm pretty sure that's bad.
Winners don't read.
That's why there's all those eyes on the urn.
Should have worn that shirt.
But yeah, so we get to the back of the cavern, and
Yeah, Waka says, "Peh, another Guado fiend," which I'm like curious why he thinks is Guado related.
Well, he has to be racist, like, no matter what. He's gotten past his Albed racism, and he just, like, transitive propertied over into hatred.
I can't
of Guado.
remember. Does the screen start like shaking or something there?
I don't remember, but I wonder if this is supposed to, like, I wonder if, while it is an optional area, I think the game thinks you're supposed to come here after Defender X, because it was the Guado that brought Defender X to the party, right? So I think, like...
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I think that makes sense.
So it's weird because...
Oh, you can fight defenders down here, by the way.
That's true.
I think they're a...
Yeah.
So I think what is weird about it is that, like, as far as, like, the game is kind of, like, locked in its dialogue, it's when they were recording it, they're probably like, people will get curious and they'll come down here, and then, like, they'll at least get this far, and then be like, maybe we should come back later.
Yeah. I do like, though, that nothing down here, like, the dialogue down here is written so that you could do it at any time, and it still makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, sorry, anyway.
Yeah, like Titus and Rico are still, like, kind of talking about their plan.
Oh,
It
right,
seems like,
yeah.
in
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
mode of, like, let's make sure the summoner doesn't die.
Right.
Even though we already have a plan to just kind of kick out the jams.
Yeah, we bypassed that. But yeah, Wako. Oh man, it's one of the days already. Waka does indeed say, another Guado fiend, and Kamari says, no, an unsent. And the camera zooms in and shows us that it's a summoner. And Lulu says...
Looks like Belgiumine.
It does.
Yeah,
Same model,
same
but it's
outfit,
like...
yeah.
A palette
purple.
swap.
Yeah. Lulu says, it's you, is it not, Lady Ginham? Forgive me, I was too young. And like, oh, this is Lulu's first summoner, what?
Yeah.
She's unsent, and Yuna gets ready to send her by getting her staff out. And like, Lady Ginham sends out a camera
Shockwave?
color changing wave, I guess.
T-field.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, everything just becomes purple. Like, I was just like, oh no. And then Lulu says,
There is no human left in you now, is there? Very well then.
allow me to perform my last duty to you, my last as your guardian. And then we get in a battle.
Hell yeah.
But not with Lady Ginham.
No,
Oh, I guess we
she
get
summons.
into a battle with him, but yeah. She does summon, yeah. And there's a fucking cool as shit summoning. Like all summons always have like their little opening movie that they do. Like this one's kind of badass. I kind of love it.
It's a legendary Pokemon fight.
Yeah.
You gotta have an intro.
But like, yeah, so like she summons and the screen like washes out and then it shows like the moon in the sky and like a cherry blossom tree and a fucking like samurai walks out from behind it. It's fucking wild.
Yeah.
I love this guy's design.
Yeah.
I love the just the music that plays here too. There's like a shamisen like
Yeah.
strike and stuff, and it's
Bang,
like
bang.
yeah.
Thank you so much. I was racking my brain trying to remember the name of that instrument.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I think there's even like a very subtle like little singing cries that you
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yo.
Very
Yeah.
very reminiscent of old samurai movies. Which I think this is like a reference to, or like samurai lore.
Yeah.
He's like he's like a gun for hire kind of as an Aeon though, is kind of the idea, right?
Yeah.
But he has a dog.
He has a dog. Okay, so this is Yojimbo, right? That's the name.
He comes
of
with the good boy.
Yeah. So the summon is Yojimbo, and he comes with a little dog named Daigoro. and sometimes on his turn, he'll just have Daigoro attack you instead. And like he runs up and like jumps sideways and like lands on you and then pushes off of you, and that's how he does damage.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, this good little boy. I love him.
He wasn't a big problem. I mean, you could fight him as yourself, or you can just have take him out with Bahamut.
So what I did was, now I'm pretty fresh off of Xanarkand and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm pretty I haven't done a lot. This is the first side quest that I've done. And I killed him before he had an opportunity to attack twice. And I was like, well, that was that. I just like took him out real quick.
Yeah, he's only got like, what, 3,300
That
HP?
might be right. Yeah, let me see here. Yojimbo FFX.
Yeah, so while you're looking that up, I think this is a reference to the Kurosawa movie, Yojimbo, which is about, like a samurai or like a ronin.
That's a really good movie, by the way.
I haven't seen it, but I haven't seen much Kurosawa, which I really should change.
I didn't even know this was literally a reference to a movie, so I'm kind of excited to like watch this because I want to see if I can notice anything where it comes from. Like, I wonder even if like they got any kind of sort of like audio rights to like soundbite that into the game, just like full immersion.
Speaking of music, when you are fighting, I think we are listening to Lulu's theme.
Oh, is that true?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, not for nothing against Lulu, but like she would have been a lot better, I guess, as a guardian if she had some better fire spells.
What are you talking about? She has Ultima as far as Carl knows.
Now she does.
Yeah, but he wasn't too hard. He has a couple attacks. He can throw knives at you. He can do a couple things.
Oh, yeah.
Can he do Zanmato to you in this one?
I believe so, if the overdrive gets full.
I didn't get the overdrive filled, but I'm assuming that was what was going to happen, because it does fill pretty slowly in my experience with it, and I was just like, I do not want to see this fucking thing fill. So I was just like, okay, Yuna, holy.
So yeah,
Mike told us what happens when he his overdrive. I'm like, uh-oh.
So as we're fighting Yojimbo, much like all the other Aeons, when we fight them, we see their overdrive bars as we go through the fight. And this is one that you really don't want to fill up all the way, because it is just game over when he fills it all the way up. Or I guess you could have a summon out, and then the summon could take the overdrive for you. But the thing about Yojimbo, both as a boss and as a summon, is that his overdrive is Zanmato, which is he just whips his fucking sword out, turns around, and then everything is dead, like 100% of the time. And when I say like everything, I mean like he can do this to the final boss of the game. Like when he's on your side, you can just like Zanmato and win. Like he can, like Mike last week said he did it to fucking Unaleska, right? Or not last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's literally pay to win.
Right.
The weird thing about it is that it's this whole weird affection meter that you don't know what's going on. You only get subtle clues. Yeah. Which is like, if you pay him, I usually do.
Let's get him on our team, and then let's talk about doing that.
Spoilers, we're getting this guy on our team. Real quick though, I do want to read what the fandom says about Zanmato, because it's cool as shit. Yojimbo calls his katana out of a dark portal in the ground, from which it flies into the air. Catching it and overlooking its quality, he then unsheathes it and rushes headlong into opposition, using it to slice all enemies in half. It instantly kills any enemy in the game, with the exception of blank. Some enemies won't be sliced in half, instead displaying their regular death animations. Yojimbo will nod upon receiving the money, indicating he'll perform Zanmato.
That's so good. Yeah, that's cool as fuck. Anyway, anything you pull from a dark portal in the ground is always going to be some good shit.
He just takes his blade from hell.
But yeah, after you beat Lady Ginham, Lulu says, "Strange, I thought it would be sadder somehow. Maybe I've gotten used to farewells." And I was like, oh no.
Very sad.
Yeah.
And Waka says, "Oh, you're stronger now." And she says, "Waka, I hope you're right. Yuna, the faith is inside. Go do what you came to do." And then after we beat him, a little portal appears on the ground that we can use to warp to the beginning of the cavern, warp into Yojimbo's Faith's room, or we could take it to little side rooms and get some treasure chests. So that's nice. I like any time that the game gives me the opportunity to be like, yeah, you don't have to walk all the way back. It's fine.
Yeah, which they do a lot in this last half of the game, which I really
Yeah.
appreciate.
Yeah, same. I will say there is a good Riku weapon here.
Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
The flexible arm.
Flexible arm.
So what's
yeah.
great about this is, what is it? This is I think one of the only two, I want to say, that you can get just out and about Spira. The rest of them you can buy.
Yeah.
But like, it's so incredibly rare for there to be a 4-slot nothing on weapon, because you can't take abilities off. You can only add abilities on.
Right.
And so like being able to customize your own personal ultimate weapon is like
It's really cool.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And that's what this is. 4 empty slots, baby. So that's good shit. What else we got? We got an MP sphere in the other one. But
an MP sphere and also 2x potions, which
yeah.
cool,
Which
I guess.
Yeah. But now we're allowed to go into the Chamber of the Faith, I guess. It's just another hole.
It's just a makeshift dugout.
I love this. I love the way it looks inside, because instead of like the translucent blue orb that like all the Faith are encased within, this one there's just like a pit that's been dug for it, and it has like caution tape over it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, do not touch Faith, do not trip in hole.
Yeah, so I think what this caution tape is supposed to be is like in like, Japanese culture. I don't know if it's like the Shinto religion or whatever, but like the spell binding.
I think that is, yeah.
Like paper, like things, whatever.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm really a person of the world when I'm like, I believe it's of the Shinto faith, and they call it the fucking paper thing.
The paper thing.
It's the thing they use in Inuyasha, okay?
I just like to imagine that like spiritual OSHA came in here and was like, somebody could really trip and hurt themselves here. We need to put the spiritual binding paper down. Yuna does her rites, I suppose, and summons a spirit from it, just like we summoned like the spirit of Bahamut, and we actually saw the Faith, like a translucent version of the Faith standing above it. And this like warrior comes out. He kind of looks like a Yevon monk a little bit.
Like
he has some
like a
armor and
crusader
stuff.
monk or whatever.
A crusader, yeah. And he says,
I am the blade of vengeance. They dare only whisper my name. Yojimbo.
Summoner, I ask you, what do you want of me? And then you have like a little like quiz, and like if you don't answer right, then he doesn't want to come with us.
I don't think that's true. I think any of these he'll come with you, but it affects how he works.
Oh,
Yeah.
the price. Okay.
I'm pretty sure
Interesting.
that's how it works.
Yeah, so
I
there's
see.
there's the train as a summoner, there's to defeat powerful enemies, and then I forget what the last
To gain the power to destroy fiends. Yeah.
So I've read that how you answer will actually kind of change how he behaves as a summon.
Yeah.
So like the kind of math I think that involves, I don't know the specifics, but like
It's I looked into the specifics of it, and it's very well documented on like the Final Fantasy fandom page. If you want to know specifics, you should look into it, because it is a bunch of formulas and a bunch of math, and my eyes immediately glazed over, and I was like, magic, got it.
yeah, so to kind of like simplify it into inaccurate but mostly accurate terms, if you say to train as a summoner, normal battles, his affection kind of goes neutral. If you to destroy fiends, it's random battles, he has a chance to do the one-hit KO move more often, and then to defeat powerful enemies, he's got a affection towards bosses.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, the shorthand of it.
I did say to defeat the most powerful enemies.
I did too.
That's also what I said, which is helpful.
And then he says, if you desire my strength, you must pay my price. And so like
You've got to pay the toll troll.
Paywalls in my Square Enix games.
also if you select to defeat the most powerful enemies, apparently garners a lower starting price.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like, man likes a challenge.
Oh yeah, he's like, yo, game, recognize game.
Yeah, right. But I do like all of the other Aeons in the game are just like, no, we will help you. Like, it's time to go fight Sin. And this guy's like, yeah, but I need money, dead money, so that I can spend on in my dead stores with all my summoner Aeon buddies.
Yeah, but you see his crib, he obviously needs to like level up where he's at.
Yeah, this is like Luigi's Mansion for him, where like at the end of the game it just calculates how much gil he has, and it's like he got the shitty shack. He's trying to get the level 100 boss.
That's right. Yeah.
Tom Berry is his landlord.
He doesn't come around much, but when he does, holy shit.
But yeah, so you can. So he gives you asking prices, and then you can state your own price instead, and you can basically like negotiate a price with him. So for me, he started at 250,000, and the general way it works is that you can offer him like 51% of what he wants, and then he won't accept it, but he'll bring his price down. And I think you can do that twice. And then the third time, whatever he asks, you do need to meet it.
Yeah, it's either that or more. Yeah, exactly.
If you offer way too low, he gets insulted. But I have to say, he's got like probably one of the coolest voice lines whenever he delivers the
"Do we have a deal?"
And you're like, whoa.
I love it when ghostly figures are offering me deals. That always, it's something to, it's not ominous at all.
Hot deals from the afterlife.
Yeah.
I have altered the deal.
Pray that I don't.
I do know that if you pay him an exorbitant amount of money, like if you pay him way
it's
over
like
the
3
amount,
times as much, I think.
yeah, he gives you some items as well.
Really?
He's like, oh shit, all right, what's up?
I think he gives you teleport spheres, which is cool. But I was like, I don't have that kind of cash.
No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it by any stretch of the imagination. Like when we start power leveling, like in one battle, we'll get enough levels to move all the way across the sphere grid with like 50 left over. So like, it's not worth it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, once we pay him the right amount of money, he says, "Adequate, you are my client henceforth." And then we get Yojimbo.
So how much did everybody pay?
It looks like I paid 203.
Okay, so it sounds like you got the absolute lowest offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're...
My asking price was 190,350, which I took.
Oh, wow.
Let's go.
Yeah. He saw I was a god gamer.
I paid a little bit too much. I paid, I think, 213,000 because I did what I remembered from like my own mind, which
that's what I did
offered
too.
him. I offered him like 190,000, and then every time he offered me a lower number, I just increased it by 1 exact gil to keep getting lower and lower. Apparently, from what the fandom says after I checked it says you can offer, I think it's 125.01, then 150.02, and then 175.03, and that gets
I couldn't get it to work. I kept doing 150.01. He was like, no dice. I was like, what?
It's literally like a half and then plus 1 gil or something. Like a half of what he's asking and then plus 1.
Which is why, like in the fights, I always give him 1,001, and then the next fight or the next attack, I do 1,002. Like I always increase it just a little bit, and that helps the affection meter because you can kind of tell whether he's starting to warm up to you or not, depending on his moves. If he's always sending his dog after the enemy, he's just like, whatever, dude. I'm not even going to do anything about this. I'm just going to have my dog do it. But when he starts like bringing out a sword or the kunai that he has, then you're like, all right, he knows what's up.
Yeah, I actually had to do a lot of research for like this specific mechanic with what we'll talk about in the next part of the episode.
I was wondering what your plan was.
That wasn't my plan. I'm so excited to talk about this.
Okay.
Right. So, but if he sends his dog out, it actually decreases his affection meter as well. So it's exactly like Nin said, where it's like he doesn't respect you at all. So where he's like, I'm gonna have my dog do my job for you because I don't care. So if you see the kunai, it's like I think he can do like it raises by like 1 or 3, and then if he does the sword, it's like 1 or 4 depending. So like if he's doing both of those, you're like, okay, at least I'm like increasing. I haven't seen the dog at all, other than like when he did it against us, but. Yeah, it's a pretty cool system. I like this because this is another staple that exists in a lot of Final Fantasy games. You know, like the rare summon, like the optional summon that it's like Odin in Final Fantasy VII.
Can I do a very small, non-important spoiler for X2?
Absolutely not. No, go ahead.
Daigoro, right? is Daigoro an Aeon or not? Or is it an actual dog? And I'm going to say that it's an actual dog and not a summon.
I don't think that's any kind of spoiler, because if you actually look when you're negotiating with him, he's got like the actual dog next to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like...
Yeah, that's right. He has a pet.
That's incredible.
Look like a boy.
Yeah, it's the one that's like running around in Besaid all those years ago.
Well, that means Daigoro is an Aeon of that dog.
Yeah, it's just like, that's his companion.
Well, the reason I was going to say is that, like...
You can use Angelo Cannon with it.
Well, when Yuna gets her Beastmaster job or whatever in X2, her summonable beast is Daigoro.
Oh,
or the
that's
one
really
that
good.
like comes to her aid.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, she got Daigoro.
That's very
amazing. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, that's completely fine. But yeah,
oh, by the way, I named him Yojimbo. I think that's important to say.
I'm excited to tell you guys what I named him for me. I think when I was talking in Alex's chat last night, I accidentally typed Yojimbo, and then I was like, I'm keeping that. And then he was like, yeah, I think that's what Curtis named it. I'm like, I think so too. So I named him Eat World.
Ooh, I like it. Yojimbo Eat World.
Because I was like, oh, I could call him Jimmy, and I'm like, that's too obvious. And also, he can pretty much just fucking eat the world, because he's the most OP fucking thing.
He's the real MF.
He's easy mode.
All right, so anything else about this place, about this guy?
I think that's about it, right? We can now use a teleportation pad just to get to the...
Yeah, I mean, he has a little bit of like dialogue to close it out. He says, "You are a fading dream, but one touched by reality. Spira will not forget its reality, nor the one who saved it. Run, dream, run on. Pass beyond the waking and walk into the daylight." And then he gives you a strength. I think to get that, you actually have to go back into the chamber, which is a thing that we can now do at pretty much any of the temples, any of the chambers of the faith, because we just have more or less free reign to go back to those.
Right.
So basically, that dialogue line is specifically for Titus, right?
I would imagine.
I think so. Yeah.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
I never even knew that either.
Yeah, so I didn't get that. I didn't know that
I'm gonna go get scolded by Sundere Yojimbo.
So yeah, I think this is how it ties in with Link's Awakening, where in that game you can become the thief by stealing, and then they change your name to Thief. So Link is the thief that stole Yojimbo, the connection with the dream and all that, So
FFX is Legend of Zelda World. Sin is Ganondorf.
Sin is the windfish.
That's right.
Oh no, I'm gonna start crying. Yeah, that's the song that he likes, dude. It's all coming together.
Well,
so do we want to get back on our ship?
Yeah, let's get back on our ship and let's make
let's
make like a set of armor that does not have stone proof and break.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do your joke now that you know it?
No, I don't want to do my joke now that I know it. I don't want to. I'm just gonna have to live with the fact that we recorded 10 minutes of audio, and then I realized that my audio wasn't recording, and now we have to do it all again.
But you'll never hear that joke, and it was very hilarious.
Well, if these next 8 minutes are complete dead, I'll just replace you with a robot.
All right.
True. Anyway, so let's get into it.
That only leaves Carl now. Now Carl has to fuck a recording up, and we'll all have done it.
I do not want that to be a thing that happens. I'm so scared of that. Anyway, we're on the airship.
So we're gonna go to this place we've been to before.
I would like to point out that we're going to use the fucking sphere Asilla finder to find it. We're going to use Willy Wonka's magical orb of goodness, like in the middle of the ship.
Now, Carl was starting on this, but is there like a way in story we're supposed to know where this is, or are we supposed to just kind of like find it by clicking around the map using the search function?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of like passwords you can enter into it, but I think this one is a specific one that you have to like probe about.
Yeah.
It's punk rules. If you know, you know. Ask a punk for the
Yeah,
address.
ask a punk for the show address. Yeah.
I'm actually really glad that Curtis lost his audio because that joke is way better than anything I said in the first 10 minutes.
The first rule of using the sphere of fun. I can't.
The first rule of using Professor Hubmagorium's
We call the OSF for short.
Yeah, that's actually good. Yeah.
Oh no,
the
it's SOF.
The
Yeah,
SOF.
Sphere
Yeah.
Oscilla Finder. Just like we're calling Maester Micah Eminem. Now we're calling Baby Bahamut BB.
Yo, BB.
That's right. Yo, BB. And so we use the SOF.
Yeah, so we're using SOF to probe around the map, and I guess it's like southwest or just west of Besaid is where this temple, which is where we originally arrived in Spirit after we got Sin sucked for the first time, right?
Yeah. And it's all nice and decayed up as usual.
Yeah, just like how we found it.
I guess nothing's really changed, yeah.
Yeah, the music is very unsettling the entire time you're in here. It's like weird, airy, but it's also has like some weird like undertones to it.
Like,
it's just
some really atmospheric drumming and droning. I think it might be called. I can't remember if it's. It might be called Out of the Frying Pan.
Oh, that would make sense.
That is what Titus said when we first came here.
Yeah.
But
out of the frying pan and into the freezer.
And into the piss. But there was another thing
this place. So yeah, I wanted to bring up that this place is called Baaj, and that, as it says on the SOF Sphere Finder.
Yeah.
And we've heard this name before in passing when we were on the Fahrenheit. I think the Albed were talking about it in passing.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was like, oh, that's a place we can go, I guess.
They may have mentioned it in relation to the airship itself, where they're
Which would
like,
make
"Oh
sense,
yeah, because that's where they found it."
Right? Yeah, that's right. So because we were knocked out at Baaj, now we know the name of, and then we woke up, then got to work to look for this airship that we're on now.
Right,
You
Circle,
guys,
baby.
I have important news.
Did you stop recording?
No. This is important news, and it must be brought up. So I was just curious. I'm like, okay, Baaj, it's an evocative name or whatever. Like it sounds foreign, all that. I was like, I wonder what the English to Albed translation is. I'm gonna spell it out for you. It is PYYZ. We were in the Piz Temple.
I thought it was a Rush song.
We are the priests of the Temple of Piz.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut off whoever I cut off.
I was saying
breaking
it's funny
news.
that because of Baaj we found the airship, and now it's because of the airship we found Baaj.
Indeed.
Oh, it's
like
almost
poetry.
like
It rhymes.
a cycle.
They just can't keep them apart, man.
It's drawn back.
Two
but
flavors that taste great together.
If we remember from the first episode or whenever the last time we were at Baaj, there was that. Neither do I. But there was that thing on the wall that like we couldn't make any sense of.
Yeah,
right.
And that's how we talked about the Albed language and how we would find our way through. Now we have enough to read it.
Oh yeah, what does it say?
Yeah, it says, in the land where bolts of light illuminate the blackest night, with Makalania behind the fourth pillar you sight, look not on the left, but on the right.
It's wild to me that the Albed wrote a poem that only rhymes in English, like once you translate it.
I mean, maybe it rhymes in Albed, who knows? But I think that is probably, lightning planes or the thunder planes or whatever it's called, probably has something to do with the lightning dodges, maybe, or something we can find there that ties into another thing that we can find here later, which we'll talk about later.
To the left, to the left.
Yeah. I couldn't think of any extra jokes to go with that. Yeah.
But yeah, so last time we were here we encountered this I guess our first boss, kind of.
Yeah.
We called Gazgano, and I only know that because it's the same name as Pod Racer.
Hell yeah. Playing all the old hits.
Yeah, and he tried to give us the eat.
Yeah.
Give us the chompers.
But we can go back into that pool now.
Yeah, we can dive off the little, like the place where Titus fell in last time. We can now, willingly dive into it.
Yeah.
And like, so Carl was saying, before I ever so rudely destroyed our recording. That once you're in the water, you can press B to submerge and Y to surface. And it took me forever to figure out how to get out of the pool because I was like, oh, surface, that just means go back up to
It means the
top
opposite
of, the
of
water.
dive, yeah.
Yeah, it's the opposite of dive. So I press B to go down and Y to go up. And like, no, Y is to actually get out of the pool. Because like,
climb.
I was swimming around being like, where the fuck do I go? How do I get out of here? Am I soft locked? What's going on?
Yeah, it's also funny, like, when you walk to the edge of, like, the diving board, I guess, like, the part where the arch, like, collapsed earlier, that, like, lets you get into the water. Titus just does, like, a real quick dive animation into it. It's like, whoop.
Yeah, there's, like, no choice. Like, if you wanted to explore, try to see if there's any chests or anything that you miss, it's just kind of like, here we go.
Yeah.
Imagine missing a chest because you were trying to explore and you got put into a, like... mandatory just going forward and you miss a treasure chest. Wouldn't that suck?
Wouldn't that suck?
Sure would.
Yeah.
But before we can swim around, we do get a little like cutscene with.
That's right.
Because we got Raka, we got Waka, Riku, and Titus because they're the only ones who can swim. I'm assuming
Raka and Riku.
I guess I'm assuming the other four are just waiting up top, staying dry. But yeah, Titus is like looking around, all like kind of suspicious, maybe a little paranoid, and Waka's like, "What's up? Something here?" And Titus is like, "I almost got eaten by a fiend here. Payback time." And Waka's like, I get the picture. All right, let's go. And they do the high five like they did when we were
cool high five.
Pacifico.
I love it.
I love the high five so much. I also love the like lore significant reason why we would come back here. It's like, yeah, that's where the airship was. We were there earlier. There might be some treasure. It's nothing like that. It's like literally just a revenge mission that Titus is like, yo, I'm going to fuck up this fucking fish that almost ate me.
He's been thinking about that fish for days.
He's been grinding this axe for a long time.
He still hasn't had a meal yet. And he's like, this thing is going to be the first thing I eat.
Yeah.
He got fed, remember? It was like when we said, right on, and then just ate like too fast.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but also this thing is like mostly bones. There's not a lot to eat.
Yeah, that's also true.
The tentacles, though, they look like they got a lot
Yeah,
of
you can
meat
make some takoyaki
true.
out of this.
That's right.
Nice bone broth.
I bet it would be taco yucky.
But yeah, below the surface there, it's actually pretty cool kind of getting time to like look at like the statues and stuff, which because I don't think we really had time to do that last time. Or maybe we did. But I was hoping there'd be items around here, but
yeah.
There is after.
On the mini-map, we see a little green indicator, which means there's a door, and I think that's the door to the submerged temple, which we are trying to get to.
Yeah. The mini-map is literally just a circle with that green dot, so we're like, oh, let's make our way to that green dot.
And we find ourselves in a battle, because God's
our
just
spicy boy
suddenly
came back. Yeah, I know. He also was ready. He was like, oh, that's the one that got away. So, Gazgano is both an easy boss and a hard boss. Like, I feel like if you're gonna lose in the first couple turns, which I did. I got game overed, and I think it was one of my first game overs. I think I game overed on Seymour Flux and this guy, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is dumb. Like, what? I lost. I can't believe it.
I got in a very, very unique scenario. So, it ate one of my party members because I started off the fight as you would in your normal fight, and like, you know, hey, Staga, everybody.
Yes.
He ate somebody, and then when he eats that person, he also gets all their status boosts.
Yes.
Like he gets like haste or regen or anything like that. So he ate Riku, who had haste Staga on her, and then now it's faster, and then he KO punched Titus and just knocked him out. And then just Waka's just sitting there going like, my turn, yeah. Just like, I didn't even get to do anything this turn.
Yeah, he's got like KO punch. I think he can turn you to stone, can he?
Yeah,
he's got stone punch.
Yeah, he's got a stone punch.
So he's got a lot of stuff that can just remove you from the battle entirely. And he's also like, if you do the haste thing, he also becomes hasted. So like, once you're on the back foot in this battle, you're done. You may as well just fucking reset and do it again. But like, but you can stay on top of it if you're careful. You just don't want to haste for this battle, I would say. Yeah,
I got very, very lucky. What ended up happening is after he had Riku, I revived Titus, and then we managed to whittle him down. He stone punched Waka. Waka died. And I was like, okay. It was just him and Titus. He swung at Titus. Titus evaded, and I still had my counterattack sword on Titus, and he got the final hit through a counterattack.
Oh, nice.
Wow, nice.
So I was like, oh, thank you. Because I don't remember the last time I saved.
Yeah. Sorry, Waka. No AP for you.
Riku didn't get AP either.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because Riku was inside.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh, wait, Riku was inside?
Yeah, right when Titus did the counterattack.
Because I read here, it says if a character is swallowed and Gazgano is defeated, it will deal quad 9 points of damage to all party members.
Yeah, so can I talk about that for a second? Because the first time that I got a game over to Gasgano was because of his stone punch, which much like if he like eats you, he takes your powers. Like it's kind of like he does something that you have done to enemies before. Like I've talked about it before, where if you use like stone touch on an enemy underwater, they like sink and then shatter. Yeah, that happens here too. Like your party just like shatters. So like I didn't have myself equipped with like any stone resistant stuff at the start of this battle. So after I got that game over, I just made the armor that has the stone ward or whatever, and got lucky, didn't get stoned again. And then I was trying to finish the battle in I can't remember the specifics of how I was trying to finish it, but like I think Titus was inside of Gasgano, and anytime like he spits you out, he'll usually do quad 9 damage and just like knock that party member out. Because when you're inside him, you can use a trigger command called Struggle, where you just like attack him from inside and deal some good damage.
See that. I didn't get to see that.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage.
Yeah,
wow.
you do some damage, and but as soon as as soon as he spits you out, it does quad 9, and you're just out, and you have to revive. So
Is
then,
that
okay.
Is that why my stomach hurts so much when I eat Taco Bell?
Yeah.
It's like it's inside of me doing attacks.
It's struggling inside
It's
of
struggling
you.
inside of me and just doing a lot of damage.
So for me, it was like if he exhaled it, he doesn't do quad 9, but you just like it'll leave your character with 1 HP.
Oh, weird. Because I got knocked out every time that happened. So I was like, okay, I had just gotten a sword for Titus that has double AP. And I was like, yo, I'm trying to get double AP. I don't want Titus to be dead at the end of this battle.
Oh, so
I was
if
like,
you do, so I think if you do struggle, he will Gazgano will immediately exhale and deal damage equal to their HP. So it's just an instant kill. So don't struggle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the trick.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't struggle, though, then what I learned the hard way, because I was like, if I do that, if I struggle, I will kill him and Titus won't get the AP. I was like, so I don't want to do that. I was like, I'll just kill him and see if Titus gets the AP anyway, because Titus is still in the battle. And I used like Waka to kill him, and then he spit Titus out at my party and did quad 9 damages to everyone. And I was just like,
holy shit.
That's game over. And then the next time I just
wild.
like eviscerated him.
I wonder if the reason why he didn't spit out is because Titus actually defeated the boss with a counterattack. So like it wasn't an actual like turn used in
that could
response, because I guess you can't
maybe so.
counterattack
Maybe
a
so.
counterattack.
That's crazy.
Interesting. Because I never even knew that
me
Gasgano
neither.
did that.
My experience, that did not happen. So I'm like curious if that was just like a weird loophole he accidentally enabled because of counterattack.
I think I took a video of that though, because the game over animation that I got was pretty hilarious, because Titus was shot at the party, he hit Waka, and then like in the screenshot, I'm not sure if I'll be able to show it on camera, but I can send it to you guys. Waka and Titus are kind of just 69ing.
Oh, I see.
And then the game over screen that I got was just Riku, but it was just her ass. And I was just like, well, if I'm gonna get a game over, I guess that's the way to go. Yeah. So then I turned off my game and I never played it again, and that is the canonical ending of Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, I got killed pretty fast with like a KO punch, which I think happens after he's 50% down.
Yeah.
And I think the second time I got lucky because I had some I had some death ward armor that's kind of like at least up my chance of avoiding getting hit, and also just increasing my evasion so I just didn't get hit by it.
Your evasion.
My evasion. But I think I just had Riku just constantly throwing gems at it.
So did I.
Because it's pretty susceptible to elemental damage, so it's like I have
it's
so many fire
very
gems I've been
susceptible
farming,
to that.
so I've just been throwing those, and so she did most of the damage compared
the
to
second
everyone
time
else.
I went in, I just started throwing gems and just doing, and then not hasting and doing regular attacks, and like he's actually not that bad because he doesn't have a lot of HP comparative to like how much damage we can do, and so like you just don't let him get haste, and you don't like fuck around with his innards, and like he's not that bad.
Yeah, you just throw Phoenix Downs when you get a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he really just it's a fight where it's like he's only about as hard as you make the fight.
Yeah.
Agreed.
He's got 3 tricks, and once you know them all, you're like, oh, this is fine.
Once you know the Joker's trick, that's when you get
And it's
him.
also funny that he's like 95 resistant to poison, so you can poison him, but like it's super like slow.
Rare.
It's like, why bother making him have any poison?
Also, I would like to point out that when we do defeat him, even though he is like some kind of aquatic animal and underwater, he explodes into a giant fiery ball. Like,
hell yeah.
Like a fucking underwater bomb. It just, boom. So that's
yeah,
kind
that's what
of
they do with
awesome.
fire, using fire gems. Like, oh, those just wet gems now.
Also, for beating him, I got a Devastator, which is a no encounter weapon for Riku. So this is my first no encounter. Yeah,
Nice.
I was like,
That's
ooh.
awesome.
Yeah, so that was real nice.
I feel like I got a Devastator also. I just don't remember what augment it had, because I feel like the pool that it has is a very, very large pool.
I also have a Devastator and have had it for a while, but I don't remember what it was. It's definitely not that cool.
But yeah, then we're allowed to go into Temple proper.
Well, really quick, I want to touch on this. After you beat Gasgana, you're still out in the open area, and I wanted to see if like anything else happened, because it exploded really big, right? And
Yeah.
I was wondering if it blew out anything, because this is my first time actually like trying to get as much as I can, and get everybody's weapons, get everybody's overdrives. And so I just swam around just mashing the action button, just looking for something, and I came across a weird chest that I need to have a item for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think it
So-
corresponds with the weird poem that we read that rhymes in English.
Yes, I think so too. I just need to get whatever it is that allows me to get open chests.
Yeah.
Which we will shortly. But yeah, we're allowed into the Baaj Temple proper now. There's only like 2 rooms. There's like a room where we come up out of the water onto some stairs. It reminds me of the fucking beginning of Metal Gear Solid 1. Where we swim into it and then come up. And so I was like, oh shit, here we go. We're getting into
I'm in.
oh no, what was
Shadow Moses?
Yeah.
Huh? Whose footprints are these?
What?
But yeah, after that room, there's it's not the Chamber of the Faith, but it is like the innermost
antechamber of the faith.
Ooh. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I think it is like the innermost room, though, right?
It's
This area.
decorated like staring directly into it is that eye that you see
That
from all the
eye!
dysfunction sphere chests.
Yeah. So you remember when you were on last time? You were the one who pointed
Do
that
I
out
remember?
to us. So yeah, we were. What was it? Jose Temple? Is that the episode we had you
Yes.
on? Yeah. And I remember you pointed out, you were like, what about that symbol that always appears above the chest every time you open a chest from a destruction sphere? And I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that it was like the same symbol every time. It's the symbol that's in this room at the back of the room. And so like
Wow.
this room is
Yeah.
connected to the destruction
Yeah,
spheres.
so kind of like giving away the secret of this. There are I think there's 8 total statues
I think there's
in the room.
6, I
6.
believe,
There
yeah.
might be 6. Yeah, I'm miscounting. There's 6 total statues, and then when you walk up to one, they react depending.
They each have a
on if you-
materia in front of them. And like,
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah.
like, well, yeah.
They react depending on if you have done the destruction sphere minigame or quest in each temple. So
Which we
Kinda-
all have, right, Carl? We've done all of them as we've
Yeah,
gone through.
we've all done all but 2 of them.
which 2?
So I'm glad you asked that. Because
You poor soul.
my first reaction was, I remember early on, I was like, we had this whole discussion where Curtis was like, you will probably want to go back and get this item because if you don't, there's going to be something very difficult to get past blocking it next time you try to come here. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And I thought I did. And then I realized that I didn't. So I went and I did some figuring out Yojimbo so that I could get past this thing. Because originally, so basically to like spoil 2 or 3
Yeah, it's
episodes
fine,
from now. There's things called dark Aeons that we're going to have to fight. Use your imagination for what those are. When you try to get to Besaid and try to get to the Besaid temple, a summoner comes out and calls you infidels and then summons Dark Valfor, which I believe has 800,000 HP and can one-hit KO your party entirely.
Did
So I
you
was
get
like,
hit by its overdrive?
Gosh, I sure am glad.
Yeah. No. I didn't get hit by its overdrive. I didn't have time to get hit by its overdrive.
More
because
digits than I've seen in the game yet. When I got
Oh
hit,
my
I was
God.
like, oh, that's not even, I can't even go that many digits in health. That's a lot of damage.
So yeah, it's pretty much like a DPS fest, and I was like, okay, I don't really have the endurance I need. I was like, I have all the pieces that I need to defeat this. I'll just use summon to block any like overdrive or whatever. Like I can just do that. Don't have to worry about it. I was like, I can have everyone in their overdrive. I can have all of Yuna's summons in overdrive. I can be very careful and get very lucky. I can do the quad 9 or the trio of quad 9s. I'm gonna fuck this thing up. And then it was just like, oh, we can just use energy ray at any time. And if you don't have like, shell on your character and pretty high for this point, like magic defense, it's just gonna kill you. So I was like, okay, well, I've tried this fight like 3 or 4 times now. Did not get far at all with it. Kept getting owned. I'm just going to use the cheese strat. I'm just going to use Yojimbo, which I did, and I was able to. I pretty much just went to Mount Gagazet, and on every fight that I had, you get like 2,000 gil back. So I would just pay 512 gil each time. So I'd still be in the green, and I just like got his like compatibility or whatever up and was able to just pay 8,000 gil to one shot the fucking Dark Aeon. And I'm like, okay,
That's a steal.
So, and if you go back and listen to the beginning of this podcast, assuming Alex didn't cut it out, at one point I say, I am excited to talk about something, just kind of offhanded. I'm really excited to talk this weekend, or this week, I should say. Because I was going through that as we were recording, like as we were getting ready to start recording, and I couldn't figure out the fucking puzzle still. I figured out the puzzle. I did the destruction sphere, which also I went out and back into the temple like 3 times again because I still fucked it up. I used the destruction sphere, and what do I find? But a treasure chest that's already fucking open. So the 2 I didn't open were Xanarkand and Kilika, which I also did. So now I think I might want to not use the save file and go back and fight what's it called? Dark Valfor properly.
Yeah, the proper way is going to be. It's not that exciting.
It's so rough. They're all very rough.
You're either strong enough to defeat Dark Valfor with no fucking problems whatsoever, or you're not strong enough to defeat him. So it's really not that exciting. Like the quote unquote correct way is just get to where you're doing 5 9s every turn and you just don't let him have a turn. That's how you beat him. Like it's not exciting.
Yeah, that's how a lot of them go. Like they're races.
Okay, I'll just keep the 8,000 gil then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a panic attack too where I like got here cuz so the thing is that back at Baaj there's a door at the back that won't open until you've found all the destruction sphere loot in every temple, right?
Yeah, you've broken the seal on the treasure chest.
So I noticed I had 3 missing and I was like, uh-oh, because again I think I knew that there are things at some of these temples that may be guarding it, like Dark Valfor, but thankfully it was just Xanarkand, which I didn't know about. I didn't know Xanarkand had a bonus bubble.
Yeah.
Which I think we talked about on that episode as well.
I don't even remember. But and then the other 2 were Kilika and Jose, which was pretty easy, honestly. I found out.
Yeah.
Then this is also I found out like, oh, there's some like hidden like cutscenes if you like go back to the Chambers of the Faith.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, so because before we were just like waiting outside, but you can actually like go back and like talk to them. There's actually, so I think all the Aeons we have now, we can go into those chambers if we want to do those puzzles again. Just have like a cool little conversation. which is pretty cool. I had a chat with Ixion. He looked kind of like the Quaker Oats guy.
I feel like I should go do that because my version has none of these dark versions of Aeons guarding the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and outside of the Jose Temple, which I also went to see if that's where I forgot which it wasn't, you can see Donna and Bartello. And she says...
I didn't know you could see them again.
Yeah, Donna
I saw
says...
outside of Xanarkand.
Oh, I didn't see them outside of Xanarkand, though, and I did go...
They should be when you go to the destruction sphere there. They come out and they go like, what? No final Aeon? And then Titus is like, yeah, we took care of that. You just have to put our faith in Yuna. And she goes...
So, you're saying it's all in your hands now?
You just watch. We'll get Sin.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Bartello, shall we?
And she like storms off.
That's really good. So that's weird because that's an alternate scene than what I got because
that was in Xanarkand that's the cutscene I got.
Yeah.
The one that I got in Jose, Donna says, "Why it's you again?" And Titus says, "You still on the road?" And she says, "Yes, but we're not going to Xanarkand."
I have decided to go to Bartello's homeland. We are going to let the other summoners deal with Sin.
And then like she kind of stops for a moment and she says, I'm scared. And Titus says, hey, don't worry about it. We'll put Sin in his place in no time. And she says, you mean the final summoning? And Titus says,
no, we found another way where no one has to die.
And she says, well, whatever it is, good luck. And Titus says, cross your fingers. And she says, do your best. Bartello, time to go. And they just walk off into the sunset.
I love that.
Did you do a different dialogue choice on the airship?
Oh, maybe.
It could be that, yeah.
Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking, because like I have never had any other introduction with that, and I like that as like an end of her character arc of not just like
maybe you feel like you told her like you should quit.
I think I did tell her that.
Yeah, then
so maybe that's it, that you find her kind of
she decides to start a life with Barthel.
Yeah,
I like that. That's very cute.
That's awesome.
I think either way, that's probably where she ends up, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but because like the Xanarkand one, she seems kind of bummed about it. That like she went all this way, made the whole pilgrimage, fought all this way, and then you basically tell her like, yeah, well, congratulations for doing that, but we got it from here.
Yeah. Oh, nobody told you.
You alpha gamer her.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess we got all the destruction spheres now.
Yeah, we can talk about the Faith Chamber dialogue at some other time, but I think we should go into
the Chamber, I believe it's called.
Yeah, I was worried. Is there gonna be another trials? Because they're gonna make me do fucking 6 trials and then do another one.
Now we have 6 destruction spheres.
Yeah, we have to do the trial in the Cloister of the Faith for Baaj, and then there's a destruction sphere in that one that we have to do. Yeah, no. Luckily, it's just right into the fucking Chamber of the Faith.
Editor's note. At this point, Ninnyz had to hop off the call because of a small emergency, but don't worry, he comes back. But he did miss this next section of content. Thank you again, Ninnyz, for coming back on.
So I actually didn't get this far yet just because of the hilarious me stepping off of the airship and directly onto a rake multiple times. But I did watch this cutscene, so I'm...
Okay.
Have you done all the work that is required? Or
Yeah, no, I have
so you just haven't triggered this cutscene yet?
So yeah, I did all of the work that was required, and then when we started recording, I was like, okay, let me see if I can do this Yojimbo thing. Did that, made it through the trial, and then realized I was like, wait, no, I did Xanarkand to get like Yuna's weapon in there, and then I did the Kilika one earlier. I only had 2 missing. I'm a fucking idiot. I didn't have to do this at all.
Yeah, I immediately had to like look at like maybe 2 or 3 guys just to double check. I'm like, okay, which statue is which? Because I don't want to have to fucking do the trial any more trials than I have to. And thankfully it was the Jose, which was the worst one, but I did have to like follow a walkthrough because I didn't really want to think too hard about that one. That one sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, we walk on in, right?
Yep. And this time we immediately just get a top-down shot of the Statue of the Faith, right? And it is straight up, you can tell immediately that is Anima. Like that is Seymour's Aeon right there.
It's the horrible fucking Tool album looking ass piranha plant.
Except this time, because like we've seen like every time we see a Faith, it's always like a statue and like a frozen human body. So this time Anima has like a frozen woman on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And much like always, Yuna summons the Faith, and a ghostly apparition appears, and it is Seymour's mother.
Yep.
And so,
that's so wild.
Now we know what the Ma stands for in Anima.
Yep. Yeah.
Her first name, of course, is Annie.
Annie, mom. Yeah.
I should bring this up, actually, like while I was playing, my partner actually Googled Anima to like, wait, there's a connection here because
it looks like a Tool album and is the name of a Tool album.
That Tool. If you look up the definition of Anima, it says in Jungian psychology is
Jungian.
The feminine. Jungian?
I believe
is that what you call it?
Carl Jung.
Oh yeah, Jungian psychology is the feminine part of a man's personality, which is interesting. Like so, like this is like he literally is calling on his mother.
Interesting.
Is his half, but it's also the soul, especially for the irrational part of the soul, as distinguished from the rational mind.
That's a little Jordan Peterson-y, I feel like, with the
Dude,
Carl Jung thing, where it's like the irrational part of the soul, aka the feminine side of man. It's like, all right, dude. Okay, dude, we get you never had a date.
These are two separate definitions from separate parts of psychology. So like, there's the historical philosophical side of it, like the Latin version, and then there's the Jungian psychology, which is it's more about the part of the psyche that is directed inward, in touch with the subconscious, and more feminine side. Yeah, it's weird.
It's also not surprising to think that like patriarchal societies historically have been kind of shitty to women in that way.
Yeah,
they're like, what's
shocking.
the irrational half? Probably not the half that's like constantly killing each other and like committing war all the time. No, it's definitely women. That's the one.
Also, those emotion things, you shouldn't have them.
It's
those
not
totally normal things that everyone has. Yeah, you actually shouldn't.
Women
have
shouldn't
those.
be Aeons. Is what I'm saying. They're too
the irrational one's definitely not the one that punches the holes in all the drywall. That's definitely not. That's the scientific rational mind.
That's just guys being dudes.
That's just dudes rock. What can I say?
Well, we haven't even gotten to the cutscene yet, but
sorry.
This is like there's totally a thrown away moment where they probably didn't want it to be too much like FF7, where it's like at Luca was like, I'm gonna call my mother.
Yeah.
Speaking of the cutscene, so as soon as we see the ghostly form of Seymour's mother, Yuna says, "You are Maester Seymour's mother."
So you know, yet still you seek my aid. My son, do you not hate him?
Yeah, there's an awkward silence because I think no one really wants to say anything.
Right.
And then Seymour's mother's like, it is all right. He is the one who sowed the seeds of hatred. He is to blame.
It's like, that's good because we reaped those seeds into death for him.
We killed him a few times over.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see like to the side, like I guess to their left, we see like a small little ghost version of Seymour crying.
Yeah.
With stupid hair.
Stupid, dumb hair. Yeah, and she says, but I am at fault for letting him become what he was. He was always alone, half Guado, half man. I wanted to give him the strength to live by himself. And so I became a Fayth. But because I let him taste power, he began to thirst for more. He was not satisfied with my Aeon. He wanted more power. And then Titus says, and he found sin. And she says, yes. Come, summoner, I will bestow you with my power, the dark Aeon, Anima. Destroy sin and my son's obsession with it. Though it is small recompense for what I did to him. And like, then we get Anima, what?
Hell fucking yeah.
We do get a little like cutaway scene, like a flashback when she's talking of like
Seymour like in a
like a weird like royal chamber, like a bed or something. There's like
he
like was born into royalty. I don't know why. Like it's just a random bed in the middle of a room.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of odd.
And surrounded by flowers.
But so I haven't wikied all this or whatever, right? But we saw the ghostly apparition of his mother and him at the Xanarkand ruins, right?
Yeah, so that's what I was wondering is like, did she become a Fayth then or later?
Yeah.
And obviously he got cold feet and didn't call the final summoning.
Well, what I'm thinking makes the most sense.
Or did he just like, give me the final summoning, I'm just gonna run?
That's what I think happened. I think Anima is a final summoning. Like that is Seymour's final summoning, but he didn't use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense.
The other option is that, like, she died later from some other cause.
Could be.
Just became a Fayth in normal ways, I guess.
Yeah, could be. I think it might be.
Because, like, did he get cold feet and then she became a Fayth because she was maybe sacrificing herself because of some other reasons. Maybe she was going to die or something like that. Or, like, she was unhealthy. So either way, she wanted to become a Faith to protect him.
Right.
Either as part of the pilgrimage or not.
And it could be either, and I think that both are equally legitimate explanations because I don't think it really tells us. But like when I saw the damage output on Oblivion, I was like, that's a final summoning right there, baby. Like that is the numbers that I expect the final summoning to put out.
It's a cat dog too, right?
Why
does it have two heads?
Yeah. It has the top part and the bottom part. But Anima can put out 7 digits of damage.
Holy shit.
Because Oblivion is a multi-hit thing, and if you have your summoning animations set to short, it doesn't show the bottom part of Anima doing all those punches and then the final one. It just adds them all together in one number. And when you're doing 5 9s for every turn, it just sums them all together and is just 1.8 million damage. And it's oh my god, that is definitely the final Aeon.
Yeah, that would have definitely made things a lot easier with Dark Valfor.
I mean, right now you're not going to be doing that much damage with it. Sure. When you use it, it'll only be doing 5 digits, but it can do that much. It's fucking nuts.
That's insane.
So Oblivion is the Oblivion and by extension Anima is the strongest tool in the arsenal now as of this point.
Yeah.
That's our best weapon we have right now when we get Anima. So huge.
So is this the strongest Aeon we can get that isn't a bonus one?
Right. Well, I would say this is a bonus one, kind of.
Yeah, this is definitely a bonus one.
Yeah, but it was in the original game, is what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? I think the other one...
Because the Dark Aeons aren't really in the PlayStation 2 version, right?
Hold on just a second. I have to look this up real quick. No, it looks like the last one was in the original as well.
The last one? What do you mean?
Oh, there's one more summon, baby. We're not done yet.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Yeah,
there's summons.
There's one more.
Pokédex.
Indeed.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
It's Donald Duck.
Well, actually, I guess it would be more accurate to say that there are 3 more summons or 3 more Aeons.
God.
But if we get tired of only summoning one Aeon at a time, that'll be our way out right there. So this is still going to be the most damage though, and the most consistent. So Anima just fucking rules. Also, because Aeons get their power from Yuna's attack stat, at this point I started just making sure to put attacks +4 on Yuna, whenever I could. I would just farm some strength spheres from the monster arena and just be let's just give Yuna all kinds of attack, and then go in there and use our spheres to give Anima extra attack. And then I noticed for a lot of the super bosses that are coming up, even when I really couldn't beat them, I could just summon Anima and just I just pound them into the ground because Anima just had such a fucking insane strength. Because even Anima's normal attack, I think right now it could just do 9s every turn.
Fuck
it's crazy strong.
I'm really excited to use it. I just got it.
Yeah, it's really good. Anima's incredible. It's a useful tool all the way through the super bosses and everything.
I can't believe we got Yojimbo and Anima in the same episode.
I know, 1 episode, 2 Aeons. How about that?
Super OP.
Oh yeah, super OP.
Yojimbo better not start talking to my other Aeons. They're gonna
unionized. How fucking I like Yojimbo because it's basically just Gil Toss with extra steps.
Yeah, right.
I do because I was just wanting to give it a try because I think I just came across a Malboro and I'm gonna bring Yojimbo out and see what this thing is. And it's funny because you see Eunuch walk up to him and you kind of whispering in his ear and talking and pointing at the enemies. She's trying to oh yeah, go get that guy, and them yeah, obviously you're supposed to kill them. Who else?
Yeah, it's really cool too that the only difference that he has in his animation when using a move is when he uses the ultimate one that cuts everything in half. As he takes the Gil from Yuna, he just does a slight head nod.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
So yeah, we got 2 fucking cannons of weapons this episode.
Oh my god.
I know. We're like unkillable now. It's kind of.
Yeah, this game will still find a way.
Oh, it will. It will.
God, I don't even know what we're doing next because we still have some other extra shit to cover, right?
Oh, dude, there's so much extra shit in this game, and a lot of it is bad. So, let's look here. Let's look at the episode guide. So, next week, we're going to be looking at Rimium Temple and the Omega Ruins. And, now I will say, for y'all's sake, give yourself enough time to actually do these sections. Because, like, you may not be able to get all the way through Omega Ruins unless you do some serious leveling up.
I was there, like, this week, and I was like, this place sucks.
Yeah.
I think I was just trying to, like, farm some items or something.
It's very dangerous. Do not go unless you have somebody with first strike. Like, if you don't have somebody with first strike and, like, that weapon equipped, just don't even go. Don't even go there. As a matter of fact, this is the point that I would say that, like, you should do all of the in-game content now, and then we'll just talk about it as it comes. You know what I'm saying?
Now is probably a good time to split the save files.
Yeah, it might be a good time to split the save files now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to roll up to Sin with, like, an unstoppable party of gods.
Now
this is where I'm gonna actually stop playing on the Switch and I think just go over to my Steam file or I'm gonna modify some numbers to make it a little more fun.
Yeah, it's the time. Now's the time to do that for sure. Maybe not Rimium Temple you can do just fine like that.
Now we got Aeons.
Yeah, but
we can talk about chocobos.
Indeed. Yeah, so we'll do those 2 places. And Rimium Temple, because we're talking about that, we'll also talk about, like, the Celestial Mirror and the race and stuff. And a bunch of that
cool
shit. And I mean, like, if we want to leave the details of the mirror until our Celestial Weapons episode, that's also fine. But, like, if you're playing along with us, it's time to do that stuff. It's time to go get it now.
Wow.
This game, I tell you what, I put in, so for our podcast up till, so I'll let you know the way that I did this, right? So I actually went ahead and did the Sin fight that we're getting ready, like the next actual plot point, and I went all the way up to the point of no return in the video game, to where, like, the last save point in the game's like, hey, don't walk past here unless you're ready to beat the game. I saved, came back, then I got Yojimbo, and then I did Anima and all that stuff. And so I split my save right there, right? Up to that point, I had played Final Fantasy X for 28 hours. Now, I'm still not done. I still haven't beaten this last Ultra Boss, and I am, like, at 61 hours at this point.
Holy shit.
So, like...
Well, that's about as long as the season has been so far.
Yeah,
I'm already at 70 hours.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was anything like me, just double the amount of time that you've played, and that's how long it will take to do these next, like, 3 episodes.
Good fucking God.
It's a lot of fucking work to do it, which is why I'm always like, God, I fucking hate the end game of 10, and this is why I hate the end game of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, go listen to our past seasons while you grind.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So for the listener and for you guys as well, you're not going to be able to do everything in these next couple areas as well unless you start monster capturing. And so, like, you'll be like, okay, time to do this thing in Rimium Temple. Oh, wait, I can't do it until I've spent, like, 3 hours monster capturing every enemy in this area. And so like, it becomes this interweaved, like, tangled mess of side quests where, like, it feels like you can't progress on one because you haven't progressed on another, but you can't progress on that one because you haven't progressed on this other one, and the other one is just not any fun. So, like, it's
fun in my game.
Yeah. So start putting time into it, I would say.
This is definitely Final Fantasy in its truest form, which is a friend of the show, Robbie, has once described it as, he's like, yeah, the way that he's like, I don't really like Final Fantasy and I can't get into it because to me, it seems like all the fun of doing your taxes. And that's what this part is shaping up to sound like.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you get when you max out your sphere grid, it'll be all the fun of getting your tax return. So
yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Anyway, that's Curtis Corner. That's my advice for y'all going forward. But yeah, next time we'll do Remium Temple and whatever the other thing I said was.
Omega Ruins.
Omega Ruins.
Omega Ruins.
Because like Omega Ruins could be like one of the later things that we do, like maybe even after we get all the celestial weapons, but it doesn't make sense to talk about it at that point, because at that point it becomes trivialized. So I'm like, well, we'll do it now. All these side quests have to be done like together. It's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll just talk about it next time, even though like it may not make sense to be like, oh, I just got Anima and Yojimbo, time to go do the Omega Ruins, and then you just get your fucking shit slapped.
Yeah.
If you don't know where Omega Ruins are, just start clicking around the northeast side of the map.
Yeah, just start clicking around google.com until you find the coordinates.
The coordinates are 6975x 3338y.
Oh, 69. Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, I'm donezo.
Well, thanks for coming back on, man. I forget when you were on last, but fun getting you back on for the end game.
No, I absolutely love being on here. I mean, like, I love this podcast. I love that I've been able to meet you guys not only just through this, but just like through Twitch and everything. And like, it's been, I think the last time I said it, like it was a year around that time when you guys put out that tweet, and then I was just like, haha, I'll do this, whatever. And through that I feel like we've, been able to forge a friendship. So I'm super happy for that. This is great. This podcast is like the only thing that I really listen to anymore outside of a Greek mythology podcast. So it's like, it's this and another one. And this is just a great way to like, hang out with you guys like virtually and just like play video games and have fun. It's freaking great, man.
Oh, yeah, dog. Thanks a lot, man.
Right on. Thank you so much.
Everyone should follow Ninnyz on Twitch. I'll put a link in the description, but I have fun because I see you streaming Hollow Knight a lot, working on your randomizer runs, and it's kind of nice chilling there even when I'm just working.
Yeah, randomizers, and I gave up true ending for the time being. I'm trying to mess around with any percent. I still want to mess around with the Hollow Knight speedrun, but I had the internal decision of like, this isn't worth the amount of time that I have, and I'm not exactly enjoying myself with all this pain. So I had to have like this weird moment where it's just like, is this really what I want to be doing? And then of course the new CC skip is so much easier in Final Fantasy VII, so that's like pulling me back. Like, should I go back into segmented runs on that? So
every time I try to get out, they pull me back in.
I know I'm in this weird conflicted situation where I'm trying to figure out, but yeah, it was a pleasure to be here. I appreciate anybody that does follow and does check me out. I'm just trying to do my own thing, just trying to be the best person that I can be and have as much fun along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're definitely succeeding because you're like one of the best people that I've ever been lucky enough to meet. So thank you again so much for coming on.
You're too kind.
No, not at all.
All right, Alex, would you like to read our outro credits for 250,000 gil?
How about 12,001?
How about for
12,001?
203,000.
How about 12,002?
Do we have a deal?
I think so.
Close enough.
I didn't know which part I was playing. I was like, wait, am I playing
this?
Well, you're really eyeballing me, man. Like, okay. Thanks to Neither Round for the theme music. Thank you to Nobuo Uematsu, Masashi Amauzu, and Junya Nakano for the game music. Rate, review, subscribe to us on iTunes and Spotify. Can you do that there? I don't know. Google Podcasts, that's a thing. Who uses them? Wherever you get our pod, on the pod market, give us a rating. You can call us or text us at 530-MATERIA. Let us know how you're faring in these horrible pre-sin times. Or find us at every FNFF on all the things. But because I let him taste podcast, he began to thirst for more. He was not satisfied with my episode. He wanted more podcast.
All right, see y'all next week.
See ya.
See ya.